And always blamed other things that weren't going right in your life, maybe on other external things. Find it difficult maybe to make an income, and they keep trying and trying. So
Digital Nomad's most trusted one-stop shop travel bestie. Make your move.
Welcome to Nomadify on Air, the place that takes you on a journey to learn the world of remote working and to understand the lifestyle of digital nomads in hopes to inspire you to escape the 9 to 5. In this channel, we are inviting the most reputable and inspiring people here in the island of God's Bali, Indonesia. This is Bernadette, your host and also the founder of Nomadify. And live with me here today is Patrick from Ireland. How are you?
hi everybody. Yeah,
Nice
I'm
to
good.
have you here.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So, Patrick, can you tell us something about you? What do you do?
I've been in Bali for 2 years, and at the moment I just teach English online, which I never done before. I was never really into teaching or anything like that, but I got here during the pandemic, in the middle of it all the craziness, and I just meant to come here for like maybe a month or two holiday, and yeah, I just liked it, and obviously all the craziness going on in the world at the time, it was just seemed like a good place to be. And then I was just like, right, how am I gonna survive here and have some income coming in? And just done like a TEFL course online and applied to a few Chinese companies, and pretty quickly just start teaching English to Chinese to Chinese kids and adults. And yeah, it's been fun, easy, and now recently I've been like teaching a lot of freelance students in Europe and South Korea as well. So yeah, for a digital nomad job, I think it's nice. You won't make too much money, but enough to live reasonably comfortable in Bali.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what made you pursue this lifestyle?
I think, yeah, I've been thinking about that recently, and I think kind of why I'm kind of still here and enjoy it is that I think deep down I was always wanting to escape that kind of monotonous, people say 9 to 5, but really like a lot of people work bloody 8 to 6 or 7 to 6, isn't it? For
true.
5 or 6 days a week.
That's true.
And yeah, I just was like, do I want to do this for 30 years? Like, I obviously done it for about 10 or 15 years, and I was just like, there must be. I always kind of envied like digital nomads watching. Sometimes you'd see little things on Facebook or YouTube, and you'd be kind of thinking, oh, I could never do that, or it just seems like something very out of reach. But yeah, it's just I think that was one of the catalysts for wanting, just to deep down, there's more to life than just like working for some company all your life, and then you get a pension when you're like 70, and then you're too old to enjoy it.
That's true.
So I think that's kind of the deep feeling of it. Yeah.
The awakening of this change to live life on your own terms.
Yeah, well, this is it, and I think now that I've got taste for that, I think it'd be very hard to go back to, having to get up really early and jump in your car or the train and get to work and be there, and having some manager or boss whipping you all week, so. I think when you get a taste, you obviously to be working remotely, you obviously still have to be organized, and. You really got to mind it, like a baby, because it's your baby, and there isn't a whole lot of other options if that doesn't work out. So you do have to work hard too, but it is pleasurable, and you are so much more flexible.
100%. I really love the baby logic, because it's also just like business. You treat it as your child, that you need to protect it at all costs.
Yeah. Well, especially for us, I don't know about you being Filipino, but for us to we can't really go down the road and get a job if we lose it, or if things don't work out. the visa things are very strict here, and then obviously the minimum wage for working in Indonesia is just extremely low. So yeah, you really got to mind your online your income there. Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
So regarding with that, would you say that you had it all figured out before you decided to become a digital nomad, or you just pick it up along the way?
Oh, totally just picked it up along the way. Yeah, I didn't have anything figured out. So as I said, I just came here in the middle of the pandemic just for a little holiday, and but I think at the back of my mind, I did, I was hoping that it would work out that way. But yeah, no, just bit by bit, you meet so many people here that they kind of show that it can be done, so you get inspiration of other people, hear other people's stories, and obviously then that makes it that it's achievable. And I suppose that's why there is a lot of digital nomads in Bali, that
That's true.
they kind of feed off each other's stories and inspire each other, and that
I agree.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also the reason why I moved here. I feel like those are my people. These people would understand me.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's a community. It's I suppose if you're in the normie lifestyle, which is not wrong either. Like
Digital
if you
normie.
well, if you're, I'm saying like the normie lifestyle, say
Yeah.
back in Europe or America or wherever, like where, I mean, like there's nothing wrong with it, but I mean, you're kind of a little bit of the black sheep of the look, or if you're kind of
You feel
going against the
different.
grain, yeah. So here there's you feel that little bit of support, and you feel that it's your ideas and
Are welcome.
yeah, and
Embrace.
yeah,
That's
this is it. It's not anything unusual just to start trying to do different things online and
I love it.
stuff like that.
That's something so relatable to me.
Mm.
So I guess life comes with challenges. So what are the challenges that you face while working remotely, and how did you overcome it?
Challenges. Yeah, I suppose it can be a bit unstable, so like it's hard to really plan far in advance, because especially with the online teaching, it can be kind of up and down and stuff like that. It's not like a real fixed income. I think with the like obviously when I got here during the pandemic, things were very cheap and reasonable, and rents were like amazing. Like we rent really nice place for a very good price, and now they've just like quadrupled.
Things are going up. Yeah.
Like I mean rents is everything's good, but
crazy.
rents have like literally quadrupled, and I think that influx all of a sudden of prices has been a bit of you really had to maneuver through that, and that's been a bit hard, like for such a change. So it's definitely taken the shine off things, I have to say, because that was definitely a big attraction living here on reasonable income, but like your outgoings were so small, and now that's kind of changed, and your standard of living just isn't as good as it was. So I think that might deter a few people from coming here in this next while, like if they want to be digital nomads. You could probably see some other places popping up, maybe in Indonesia or Philippines, and that will offer that cheaper thing, because it's got expensive here,
Philippines still has a long way to go in internet.
Oh, is it?
We
Yeah.
have the first internet.
Does it have a
Yeah.
digital nomads?
Yeah,
part?
it has. We have
Location.
Siargao. It's like the Bali of the Philippines. But
Yeah.
still have a long way to go, way far with Bali, but we're slowly getting there.
Yeah, I think like my view is that it's a thing that's becoming more and more acceptable, like especially after the pandemic. It's very acceptable to work remotely. Before the pandemic, if you said to your boss, I just want to work from home you know, all the time, he'd probably just, you know, fire you or look at you like you've 10 heads, whatever. But now it's like, you know, it's very much embraced. So I think a lot of people are going to start looking at, you know, remote working in these locations to be more of an option, you know.
I love it. Because my next question is kind of correlated to that. Like, I know this island has its own unique charm, but what made you drawn to Bali, and why this among other digital nomad hotspots?
Yeah, well, I used to live in Australia for 5 years in Sydney. So I done a degree in architecture design and technology. I've always kind of been into construction and building and that. Like, it was the only thing I was really good at school was like, you know, drawing buildings and the technical aspect. So I went and done that in university, and then afterwards I went to Australia and I worked in Sydney in that industry in building architecture and project management, and it was great, like really, really good. I worked on some great projects, and you know, good money in Australia, very expensive though. But then when I was there, I came to Bali on a holiday, and I did enjoy it. It was nice, but I didn't get exposed to any of the digital nomad lifestyle at all. I literally didn't even know about Canggu or that. But then before the pandemic, I came here, and a few mates of mine just arrived, and they were setting up little businesses online, like digital marketing and that. So that's how I kind of got introduced to that kind of more that like group of people and family, and that sort of lifestyle in Canggu and that. So yeah, ended up spending like it meant to be like 2 or 3 weeks. Ended up spending like 3 months, I think it was, and it was just a great time. And then I went back to Ireland, and I stayed in Ireland for a year, I think it was, or a year and a half during the pandemic and everything, which was good. You know, during all that time, it was nice to be at home and spend, because I hadn't been at home in a while. But then it just dragged on so long, and then I just made the decision to come to Bali, because I was here before, and actually my Irish mate which is still here, Connor. He invited me over at the time. And so that was it. Like it's like, I think, like, you know, if you know someone in a place in another country, it always helps. Like when you go to these places, and
I agree.
You know, yeah, people are attracted to their friends where they are and that. Yeah,
I agree. Shout out to Connor for inviting you.
Thanks, Connor. I was having a drink with him last night, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we can invite Connor too soon.
Yeah, he'd be really good. Yeah, he's well up on that scene here, and he's very successful with a lot of businesses. And
Nice,
that. So
nice.
yeah, he'd be really
Looking
good.
forward.
Yeah.
So, regarding to like this conversation, how has remote work impacted your personal life?
Definitely more time to have more of a social life. So I never excuse me, I always loved playing soccer and playing football, and but I never, like, I grew up in rural Ireland, which is very quiet. Like, we have a national sport called Gaelic football, and like literally everyone plays Gaelic football, and there is kind of soccer, and like kids always play soccer at school, but there wasn't that much exposure to like good clubs where you could kind of move up to the ranks. And I was always really, really good at soccer, and I kind of missed out on that, I felt. You know, as a kid and a teenager, you know, I think I could have done really well in football, but so never got really much time to you know, then start working and school and university and that. You just didn't have time to do school or football. But here there's a club called the Bali Bulldog. Train and met them, really nice bunch of guys, all from Europe and America, and yeah, mainly expats and that. And it's been really fun. That's been really good, because that's been a really nice way to get meeting people socially, and so that gave
organically
me,
too.
Yeah, and that gave me the time to do that. Whereas I think if I was like, you know, really, really busy working in a city in London or Sydney or wherever, you know, back home, you just wouldn't like have the time or the maybe even energy to go out and be playing football like 3 times a week and matches at the weekend. So that's been really good. And then I suppose here in Bali it's really good, easy I feel to meet people. And like I was in Australia for 5 years, and literally like when I think back, I think I made like maybe 3 really good friends, or 2 even. And they were kind of Irish as it was, you know. And when I think now, I've been here for like 2 years, nearly 2 years, you know, I've met, you know, a lot of good friends, you know. So I suppose that's what, you know, you've got more time to meet more people and that, yeah. So socially, personally, I think that's been, and less stress in life, I think, personally, you know, like, I was never a fan of, like, working for a boss or this corporate ladder thing, and kind of tried it. I thought it might be for me, but I don't know, I just felt like I was being back at school again, you know. And I just love the freedom of just not have someone telling you what to do all the time every day. And so I think that's been just liberating, and you know, a lot less stress free. And you know, obviously remote working is, you know, generally you're not going to be commuting too much, you know. You know, some people living in cities or that they're commuting like an hour and a half every morning, maybe 2 hours in the evening. Like, I mean, what's that? That's like maybe 7 or 8 hours extra traveling a week, or maybe more, and it's just craziness, you know. So you're cutting out all that out of your life. So I think it's better for your health. Yeah, you can like I go to the gym nearly every day, which, you know, when I was working, it was probably only maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And you know, so just health-wise, stress-wise, meeting, more better social life. You know, I think they've all been amplified more.
That's
you know,
true.
Yeah.
I really find it beautiful when you said that you really meet people here organically, like in this digital age where you can meet people just by like swiping on your phone, right? And we all work digitally, but there's here in this island you still have a chance to meet people organically. Shout out to Bali Bulldogs.
Yes. Thank you, Bali Bulldogs, for all you've done for me and given me the opportunity. Really good bunch of guys, best you could meet. And a good club, a really good club, really well ran. And they just opened up an arena in Brawa, fantastic arena that was supported by the Forge, the guy that owns the Forge, Sean Mack. Which is a very popular bar in Bali.
In Karabokan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's a very well supported club, very well ran, and just a very good. What would you say? Just a good ethos about the group of people within it, you know. So
Nice.
Anyone wants to play a bit of football when they come to Bali, check out the Bali Bulldogs.
Bali-bound expats, digital nomads, you heard it from Pat.
Yeah.
Bali Bulldogs is your place.
Yeah. Good
Nice.
good bunch of guys.
I guess my next question is a bit confidential. How do you see relationships and dating in this kind of lifestyle?
It's funny enough, I've been, when I got here, I met a girl within like the first 3 or 4 weeks, and she's an Indonesian girl, and we've been living together a while, and we broke up recently, so we were together nearly 2 years, and it was, look at these things happen, but so I don't really know anything else apart from that, you know. I'm sure the dating scene's pretty busy here, for, you know, there's a lot of good-looking men and women walking around.
That's true.
And, and as I said, it's a pretty social scene. But yeah, no, that's just kind of my end of it. So that was really good. That
Would you
part.
say Bali is a good place for singles?
It probably is. Probably a bit too good, maybe. That's why there's so many single people here.
Single and good-looking people at the same time.
Well, this is it. Yeah, there's probably a lot of bit too much temptation for people. So,
Love Island.
Yeah, relationships probably. It's probably a tough place to keep the relationship going, but that shouldn't be any excuse if you really love your woman or your man.
I love it.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to those aspiring digital nomads? Like, what skills do they need to learn?
Definitely, you need to be really open to making contacts, or as a mate here in Bali says, you gotta always keep hustling. You know, you hear that a lot here, is to hustle, which is good. Yeah, to meet people. You know, make it happen. Don't be just sitting back. I kind of felt like, you know, when you go back, when I go back to Ireland, or you know, even I kind of maybe used to be a little bit like that. You know, you kind of always blamed other things that weren't going right in your life, maybe on other external things, maybe the government, or this didn't go right, or that. But like, you know, at the end of the day, none of that matters. It really is just, you know, you gotta make things happen, and you gotta see what's going on and try and make some contacts. And you know, people are very willing here to help people out, which it's really strange, you know. I and like on the flip side of things, when you're in, you know, like, you know, maybe a city like London or Sydney or Dublin or that, it's very kind of cutthroat and rat racy, and you know, people are kind of like they nearly try and send you on the wrong direction. Like, not exactly everybody, you know, not everybody obviously, like, but you know, you kind of see that a little bit. But here, genuinely, a lot of people just seem to really want to excuse me, want to
win.
Yeah, want to see you. I think it's kind of the feel like, if they give over, if they can help scratch your back a bit, that will be repaid, you know. That kind of old, you know, very what would you say, the dawn of time of how humans just, you know, that's how we started civilization. You know, I will do something for you and hoping that you will repay the thing. It's very much that simplistic outlook here, I feel, with a lot of people. And yeah, like, people are very willing to help, and if you feel like you've got an idea, people are really open to give you some advice, or to go, oh well, you know, I know this person, I'll send you his number or maybe his link online, and you know, reach out to them, say, you know me. So there's a lot of that, which is really refreshing. And I always kind of just felt like things should be like that, you know. And I try and be the same to other people that I meet, especially newer people that come here, because people were good to me when I first arrived, and they really helped me out and that. So yeah,
that's so sweet and inspiring too. I guess my last question would be, if you will give your old self an advice before you became a digital nomad, what would it be?
I don't know, maybe be a little bit more organized, maybe have more money in the bank, maybe buy some land in Bali before it gets really expensive.
Valid point.
Yeah, because property prices have really shot up here. So, you know, yeah, it would have been a good investment 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, digital nomad before the advice. Yeah, I suppose, you know, really look at what you can do online. See how your skills can transfer onto that particular role. You know, and maybe do some online courses beforehand. You know, try and figure out if it's for you and if it's a thing that you can actually make money on. Because I would say there is some people here, or some people that do try that lifestyle, and they probably do find it difficult maybe to make an income, and you know, they keep trying and trying. So maybe try and build up a bit of a business first. I suppose that goes without saying, before you go and maybe travel somewhere and that, you know. Maybe try and build up a business, see if it works, you know, see if you can have a steady income coming in, and then maybe do it. Maybe that's the most sensible thing to do, which I didn't do. I just went on holiday and ended up becoming a digital nomad. I don't know if I'm like exactly classified as digital. What is the classification of a pure digital nomad? Does he have to? Do they have to be moving from destination every few months or weeks, or
someone who like earns money from their laptop digitally, but they have the liberty to stay or move to a different location anytime they want to.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I suppose that's it. Yeah, I just like to be able to figure out what you can do to make an income, and you know, be open to different lifestyles and different types of people, I suppose, and different opportunities. Because I feel there's a lot of opportunities here in Indonesia. There are kind of emerging economies and that. So, so I think that's the advice I would give.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
If that's any good, I don't know.
Thank you so much for your time today. Massive thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate your time here.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I know. And then last question would be, how can our viewers find you? What's your website or channel? Kindly invite them.
So recently, I set up kind of like a social media or a YouTube account called the Urban Investigator. Okay, so the Urban Investigator. I've only like a few videos up. I only started beginning, but basically it's just me with a camera walking through a particular street in Bali, and I just talk over it. You know, give some stories about the area, what's going on. And so it's just maybe 30-minute videos. So if you want, you can check that out. So it'll give you a little idea of what Bali's like, and from an Irishman's perspective. And then so previously I used to play a lot of music, and I've got a lot of songs recorded and music videos. So I've got also another channel called Gosson, and that's GOSSON. So both of the links will be in the
description box.
In the description box. So check it out. Check out my music. I got some songs on YouTube, and I hope you really enjoy them. And thank you very much. Thank you.
For sure they will. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
It's free, but you need to manage your time.
Be disciplined.
Be
I
disciplined.
agree.
You need to be open up. You need to be open for any relationship to come. You need to plan. You need to think ahead. You need to address all the issue where you want to go, and think about what you want to do.